She hadn't opened that drawer in over a year. Not since the day he left. It wasn't even a proper goodbye, just silence. No note, no explanation, no message on the phone. Just, gone. Demet had searched for signs. Clues. Anything to make sense of it. She looked through old photos, old texts, old memories. But there was no warning, no fight, not even a moment she could point to and say, that's when he started to drift. The morning she realized he was gone was eerily quiet. She had woken up to the sound of rain tapping against the windows. She turned over in bed, and his side was cold. Not unusual. Sometimes he got up early to work out or take calls. But that morning felt different. Still. Empty. She got up, walked to the closet, and that's when she saw it. His clothes were gone. His jackets. His shoes. The sweater he always wore when he couldn't sleep. Gone. She opened the nightstand. His watch wasn't there. The black leather strap, the vintage face, it had always rested beside the bed. He never went anywhere without it. But now, even the watch was missing. And that's when her heart dropped. Not because he left. But because he had taken everything that mattered to him, except her. Weeks turned into months. Demet stopped waiting for the sound of the door unlocking at night. She stopped checking her phone. She even stopped talking about him, because every time someone asked, her voice cracked just a little too much. But the pain never truly left. She would walk past places they used to go, cafes, bookstores, even the little park bench near the Bosphorus, and memories would flood in like waves. His laugh. The way he used to hold her hand when she was nervous. The silence between them that somehow always felt full. And that watch. That stupid, old, ticking watch. She remembered how it used to bother her at night when he fell asleep before her. Tick, tick, tick. But now, she'd give anything to hear that sound again. She hadn't opened his side of the closet in so long. She thought she had boxed everything up. Thought she had put it all away, physically and emotionally. Until tonight. She was looking for an old book, something to distract herself from the storm outside. The electricity had flickered earlier, and the apartment felt colder than usual. So she opened a drawer she hadn't touched in months. And there it was. A small, worn leather box. Tucked behind some old scarves. Almost like it had been waiting. Her fingers trembled as she reached for it. She sat down, placed it gently on her lap, and opened it. His watch. Not a replacement. Not something similar. The watch. The one he always wore. It looked untouched. Still perfectly polished. Still ticking. Her breath caught in her throat. It was still ticking. It shouldn't have been ticking. That was the first thought that struck her. He had left over a year ago. The battery should have died months back. But there it was, alive. Quietly, steadily alive. Tick, tick, tick. She held it in her palm like something sacred. She had seen him wear this watch in every photo, in every memory. It was the first gift he had bought for himself when he landed his first major role. He used to joke, if I'm late, it's not the watch, it's me. And now, it was here. Still working. Still waiting. Demet turned it over. The engraving on the back hadn't changed. For the moments we can't forget. That's what it said. His words. His handwriting. She had seen it 100 times, but now it hit differently. Because she had spent so long trying to forget. And now, the one thing she didn't expect to see again, this watch, had brought it all back. Her mind raced. Why was it here? She had checked the nightstand when he left. It was empty. So had he come back? Had he placed it here after she stopped looking? Or worse, had he never left for good? She stood up, holding the watch tight. She didn't realize she was crying until a tear hit the leather strap. Maybe this wasn't just a forgotten item. Maybe it was a message. A sign. A heartbeat from a time that refused to die. And if the watch was still ticking, maybe so was everything else. She couldn't sleep that night. The ticking of the watch was no longer just a sound, it was a heartbeat. Not just his, but maybe hers too. Demet sat at her kitchen table, the note unfolded in front of her, lit only by the faint glow of the streetlights outside. She read it again. And again. Every word echoed. If it's still ticking, it means there's still time. Still time for what? She grabbed her laptop and typed his name into every possible search engine, every casting list, every film database. But there was nothing recent. His last appearance was the day before he left. Then, silence. Just like the day he walked out of her life. But something tugged at her memory. A conversation they had once. Late at night. He had said something strange, something that had made no sense at the time. If anything ever happens, follow the sound, not the silence. Back then, she thought he was being poetic. Melancholic, maybe. Now, she wasn't so sure. She went to the watch again. Listened to it. Carefully. Tick, tick. And then, she noticed it. Every 12 ticks, a pause. A long one. Slightly longer than the rest. It wasn't just a watch. It was a code. She pressed the back again. Harder this time. Another compartment. This one even smaller. Inside, a memory card. Tiny. Hidden under the leather. Her breath caught. What was on this? She plugged it into her laptop. A single file. A video. And when she played it, her whole world froze. There he was. Can, tired eyes. Beard grown. Face thinner than she remembered. He was sitting somewhere that looked like a hotel room, or maybe a safe house. And he was talking directly to her. Demet. If you're watching this, then I wasn't able to come back the way I wanted to. There are things I can't explain. Things I had to walk away from, to keep you out of it. But please know. I never stopped thinking about you. This watch, it was always your reminder. Our timekeeper. I left it because I needed you to know, some love doesn't end when someone leaves. Some love waits. She covered her mouth, tears spilling down her face. I don't know if I'll ever see you again. But if I don't remember me for the goodbye. Remember me for the moments when we laughed for no reason. For that time we danced barefoot in the kitchen. For the nights when nothing made sense, but your hand in mine made everything feel okay. That was real. You were real. And no matter what happens next. I loved you. I still do. I always will. The screen went dark. She sat frozen, unable to move. The silence in the room was so complete, so heavy, it was almost deafening. And then, barely audible beneath the echo of her heartbeat, came the sound again. Tick. The watch. Still ticking. It felt impossible. How could something so small carry so much weight? But as she held it in her hands, the truth became clearer than ever. This wasn't just a forgotten relic. It was a promise. A memory, still alive. A love that had never stopped breathing. She clutched the watch to her chest, tears falling freely now. But they weren't just tears of pain anymore. There was warmth. Hope. A strange, unfamiliar sense of clarity. She stood up, walked slowly to the window, and looked out at the city. The lights blurred through her tears, but for the first time in a long time, she didn't feel lost. Because maybe this wasn't the end. Maybe it was never meant to be a goodbye. Maybe it was just a long pause between heartbeats. She turned the watch over in her hand once more and smiled, gently, quietly, like she knew a secret the world didn't. Some hearts never stop beating. Some stories never stop ticking. And maybe, just maybe, She wasn't just ready to find him. She already had. In the memories. In the time they shared. In the love that never asked to be perfect, only true. And now, with each tick, the past and future met again. Because the watch was still ticking. And so was she.